Thank you so much for inviting me to participate at the filing of the Urbino Charter. I wish I could be with you today on the wonderful island of Ventotene, but unfortunately I have to stay here in Bilbao. I was lucky enough to meet some of you at the presentation of the Charter earlier this year in March, Bilbao, and I really saw firsthand how much energy and enthusiasm there is behind this initiative. And this charter is very important. It's a charter that recalls the rights of workers to their psychological and physical integrity. That is at the heart of the EU legislation on health and safety at work. It's also enshrined in Principle 10 of the European Pillar of Social Rights. And of course, last year, the ILO included it amongst the fundamental principles and rights at work. So this charter really is in tune with the latest developments. It's also very important now as we face up to a number of important challenges affecting health and safety at work. We're still learning our lessons from the pandemic, and we saw how important it is to ensure that health and safety at work is recognized as a right and effectively put into practice. We're looking forward to the green transition, the digital transition, and again, the right to safe and healthy working conditions is included in the EU strategic framework on health and safety and acknowledged also in communications from the Commission, such as on the just transitions. So we realize how important health and safety at work is, yet it's a major challenge that it's not sufficiently recognized outside of our world in other policy circles. If today is an average day, 9 workers will die in a work-related accident, and 600 will die from work-related illness. But we need to get this message outside of our own world. The scale of this burden on society, and as the Charter says, that this is preventable. All diseases, all accidents are in principle preventable with good risk assessment, good risk management and preventive measures. We need to transmit that apart from this terrible human burden, there's also a financial cost for our society. Conservative estimates have it at around 3% equivalent of GDP in Europe. Some national estimates put the cost as high as 8% equivalent of GDP. This is really the sort of data that speaks across policy areas and that we should be putting out there to ensure that good resources and priority is given to the efforts to prevent workplace risks. And that means that we need to improve data collection, we need to improve indicators, and we need to improve the estimates that we use to see how we're progressing, whether we're improving the situation. And as the Charter emphasizes, some of these challenges are long-standing. For example, the importance of prevention in the workplace. And that's still a major challenge, especially amongst micro and small enterprises. So half of all workers work in micro and small enterprises, and they represent 95% of all establishments in Europe. But our research shows that workers have lower quality prevention measures, worse health and safety outcomes, and that the prevention measures are of lower quality. And we know why that is. There's a lack of awareness, there's a lack of resources at workplace level, and this leads to a difficulty in complying with the obligations under the legislation. So we need research into finding out what works, when it works, for whom it works. We need to be able to provide more access to expertise for employers and to be able to give them tools and guidance. And as the Charter says, it's so important that we all work together. Collaboration really is at the heart of what EU-OSHA does, and it's so important, as you've recognized. The Charter very appropriately points to the ethical principles, and these are so important, especially in the digital and the green transitions. We're looking at how the world of work is changing so rapidly. The increase in telework, the increasing use of artificial intelligence, automation, robots, or as part of the green transition, we have new technologies, batteries, electric vehicles, photovoltaic cells, wind energy. All of this is essential to our sustainable future. but it's essential that this technology is implemented and developed in a way that does not raise risks for workers. There are some wonderful opportunities presented by the developments, particularly in the area of digitalization, but it's equally important that we avoid the negative outcomes. And EU-OSHA has been carrying out research and is now running a campaign from August this year on digitalization. We've also carried out foresight work looking at emerging risks on the circular economy and related to climate change. And if we look ahead, we've got some exciting new initiatives, exciting new areas that we're covering in our work programs. I should stress that in all of this work, all of the work of the agency, whether it's research, whether it's developing guidance and tools to strengthen workplace prevention, whether it's raising awareness and developing a prevention culture through campaigns, in all of that, the agency is collaborative, it's tripartite, recognizing the importance of working with both employers and with unions. So in all of this work, I'm looking forward to continued collaboration with you. We'll continue to give the Charter visibility through our website and our different channels. And I say again, I wish I could be with you today, but I'm sure you'll have a very successful event. And I wish you all the success and all the best with your endeavours.